Another one joining us. God, I was waiting for one more. What a team we've got this morning. Look at this turnout. Hello, Robin.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
I can't see you at the moment. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right then, so, hey, Robin.
No.
This is your first mobility class, isn't it? Oh, welcome. Do you have a mobility ball?
Yeah, I'm just going to get it.
Okay, perfect. Oh, look at the crew. Okay, one more minute then. I'll wait for Robin to come back and then we'll talk through this. Perfect. Perfect. Okay then, team. So, or for Robin then, this is how our mobility sessions usually work. So we usually start off with a test, and that's usually on the area that we're trying to mobilize today. So today it's going to be the overhead position. So I'll show you the test for that in a minute. We then go into a little bit of a warm up or some movement, just to start getting some blood flowing into the areas that we want to start mobilizing. We then go through our mobilizations, which are usually 3 to 4, and we always spend like a minimum of 2 minutes in each position. Today is going to be a big focus on using these little suckers. So today we're working thoracic, the scapula, and then into the front of the shoulder and the chest. So to show you the test, to start us off, it's going to be our overhead test. So those that are regulars have done this before. For those that are newer to this, there's a couple of ways we can do this. So the overhead test is what we're looking for. We're lying down on the ground, and when you think about pulling your rib cage down to your hips, from here, we're going to take our arms up straight. We're going to take them behind, making sure that the low back stays flat on the floor. And then what we're trying to do is take our hands down to the ground, keeping the arms straight. If you can see, like on the video, that my hands can't touch, that's showing that even my thoracic or some of these overhead muscles are a little bit tight and need mobilizing. You can also do this against the wall. So you'd sit against the wall, bum against, back against, and then you take these hands up and you try and touch them to the wall without this rib cage lifting or rounding from the lower back. So we're going to hit this test now. We're then going to re-hit this test at the end and we'll see if any of the mobilizations that we've done today have changed. So just spend a couple of minutes, try that. Bum against the wall or shoulders against the wall or the floor. Take those hands overhead. Try and keep your arms straight and try and keep them roughly around shoulder width. Take the hands back. Try and touch the wall or touch the floor. You may feel it tight. You might be tight in the chest. You might feel a bit of tightness in the shoulder. You might feel tightness in the upper back. Just have a little bit of a think about where you're feeling that tightness. Because I'll hit these mobilizations. We can then come back and retest and see if that tightness has loosened off. So do that a couple of times. Remember, straight arms. Try and take those hands back. Try and touch. And then once you've done that, come back in front of the camera. Okay, so now you should have a rough feel of any tightness that you might have or that kind of overhead position. We then go into our Tabata warm-up. So for today, we're going to go through cat-cow, thread the needle, scorpions, and then tabletop. So this is getting some blood all flowing around that upper body and also starting to bring a little bit of movement and loosen those muscles off. So let me show you the movements first. So it'll be 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. We're going to go through this twice. Cat-cows will be here, so pushing the floor away, rounding the upper back, tucking the hips and tucking the head as much as we can. Then we're going to stick the bum back, pull the shoulders back and lift the head up. This will be the cat-cow movement. When we go to thread the needle, we're going to take one hand and we'll place it underneath and take the shoulder down to the floor. I'm going to reach through as far as we can, and we'll come back up, and then we'll switch. For the scorpions, I'm going to lay down on the ground. We're going to put the arm out, foot is going to come across, you're going to touch the floor, and then you switch and go the other way. And then when we move into our last one, which is tabletops, we're going to sit on the floor, hands behind, and we'll lift the hips up as high as we possibly can. And then back down. So they're going to be the 4 movements that we go to, and that should really warm up our shoulders and our thoracic. So find some space on the floor. I'm going to grab a timer for this. I think Matt's out. I'm wearing black. I've not got my mat out. No, I've got like Louisa's hairs all over my black joggers. Okay, here we go. So we'll start off with cat cows in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So push the floor away, round the back, tuck the hips, tuck the chin, and then lift the bum up. Pull the shoulder blades back, lift the head up as high as we can. This is starting to bring some movement through the thoracic spine. It's nice and slow, no rush. It's not for time. And relax. 10 seconds. Next we're going to go into thread the needle. So we'll take the hand through, shoulder to the ground, reach through as far as you possibly can. Again, it's just bringing some movement into the spine. So bringing some rotation into that thoracic or the upper part of the back. You might find that you have one side tighter than the other. And relax, down onto your front. Start taking that foot over the back now. So 3, 2, 1, take it over, touch, and then switch. Use the opposite arm to help push you across. Three, 2, 1, onto your bum. So we're going to go tabletop next. So point your hands away from the body. Lift the hips up as high as we can. Little pause, and then back down. Three, 2, 1. Back to the front. And go back through this all one more time. So back into our cat cows. So push the floor away, round the back, tuck the hips, tuck the head. And then bum up, shoulders back, head up. Good and relax. Thread the needle again next. 3, 2, 1. Reach through with that hand as far as you can. Shoulder to the floor. And then switch. And relax. Scorpions next. Onto your front. 3, 2, 1. Hand out, leg over, touch, and then switch. Two, 1, and then onto your bum. Last one. So hands away from the body, shoulders back, lift the hips up. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so warm done. Next, you're going to need your mobility ball. So we're going to attack the thoracic spine first. This is a regular. So for those that are newer to us, we tend to do the thoracic a lot because it comes up in lots of movements that we do. If you think squats, trying to keep your chest up. If you think deadlifts, trying to keep a flat back. If you think presses, trying to push overhead without rounding the lower back. All to do with the thoracic spine. So this is why we try and mobilize it a hell of a lot. And if we're sat at the desk daily now, we can tend to round that upper back quite a lot as well. So this is going to really mobilize that off to start. So for this, you can use your single mobility ball. If anyone has, oh, everyone show me the balls. Show me balls. Hey, what a question. Detail, I know he loves that. If you have a double ball at home, you can use this as well. Oh, Dieter's got 2 balls, nice. So basically we're going to work down the thoracic spine. To do this, I'm looking at working this upper part of the back. We're working either side of the spine. So we're going to start off on one side. We're going to work down that upper part of the back. As we do this, we're going to lay on the floor. Ball's going to go underneath. And start on the left side of the spine. And then from here, we can do a movement called a pressure wave, which is just either rolling up and down, little circles. I'm going to work from the lower part of the upper back up to where the shoulders are. I can extend over this ball, so I can lean back and forward. I can take the head up, hands up, reach down to the ground and back. If it's really tight, we can just try and just lie on the ball. But what we're working is just the erectors either side of the spine. So into position, we're going to have 2 minutes on each side. This can be with a single ball or it can be with a double ball, totally up to you. But we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. So left side first. Start working up either side of the spine. So from the middle of the back all the way up to the shoulders. You can lean over the ball or extend over the ball. You can take your hands overhead. This is a really good one because this is a position that we're trying to fix. As you do this, make sure you keep the rib cage pulled down. So like when we practiced in our test, stomach needs to be tight. We don't want to arch from the lower back. And then roll down a little bit lower, work your way all the way up to the shoulders. And start working your way back. It's a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more painful than when we do this with the roller. You might get a couple of clicks here. Go searching for anywhere that feels tight. You can move your arm around as well, see if that affects any of the position, reach back to the ground. Work your way back, we've got about 30 seconds left on the side. And then I'm going to switch over to onto the right side. We've got about 20 seconds, so make sure we work all the way up to the shoulders, all the way back down to the middle of the back. Again, we just stay to the left of the spine. Three, 2, 1. Now switch over to the right side. So again, we can start at the shoulders, start working our way down the right side of the spine, try and extend back over the ball. Might take a little bit of shuffling to get it in the right position. Again, you can reach your hands up and overhead. I don't know about you guys, I'm much tighter on this side. As I keep working that ball up ever so slightly. Work all the way up to those shoulders, keep extending back. Do about 30 seconds and then we'll move into our scaps. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. So next we're going to work into our scapulars. So if you think of the upper part of the back and we just attack the spine down the middle, our scapulars are these parts around our shoulder. So just below the shoulder, either side of the upper back. We're going to try and work around it now with the ball. So actually, let me see if I can show you on photo. That's probably a little easier. Just give me 2 seconds. I don't know what I just typed in, but it's not scapulars. Okay, I can't find it. We'll just do it. So upper back, over onto the right-hand side. Basically what we're going to do here is we're going to roll it underneath the shoulder. So as you can see now, it's more underneath the shoulder blade here. And we're just going to work around in circles, working around into that scapula, onto that one side of the upper back. So you might find some knots here. That's going to feel almost like you've got a little bit of a marble underneath the skin. Any knots that you find, we're just going to start focusing on that area. I'm going to just move back and forth over the knot. Again, like when we're doing the thoracic spine, we can move the arm around so it can be up and down. This tends to work really well, moving the arm diagonally across the body. You can reach up to the ceiling, you can pull the shoulder blades back. I want you to go and search for any knots that you find around that left side of the upper back. 2 minutes, starting now. So go searching for any knots that you may find. Okay, it's going to feel like a little ball underneath the skin. You're just going to let it flick over using the mod ball. Again, you can raise your arm up. You can bring it across the body and go searching. So diagonally across and then go searching with that mod ball again. You can start bringing it overhead, go searching. You'll know exactly when you find one. Little circles, little movements up and down. It shouldn't be a huge movement. If you find a tight spot, again, start moving that arm diagonally across. See if that helps mobilize it. You can also contract and relax. So if you take a big deep breath, squeeze the upper back as hard as you can. Take a big deep breath in. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds, and as you breathe out, try and relax over that mod ball. We've got about 30 seconds left on this side. You can move the arm around a circle, around to the outside. 3, 2, 1. Switch over onto the right shoulder blade. Again, we're looking for any tight spots or any knots that you might find in that upper back or around that shoulder blade, the scapula. Bring the arm across. Always works well when we bring it diagonally across the body. Keep working in little circles once you find the tight spot. If it's really tight or if it's a little bit painful, we can just try and relax on that spot. We don't need to do any movement. Always take big, deep breaths as we do this. We're good. We've got about 30 seconds. And then we'll go on to the front of the body next. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. So next we're going to come onto the front. I'm going to start by going into this pec minor. So pec minor, if you see where the front of the shoulder is, so we see where the chest is, pec minor is like right up into the corner of the upper part of the chest. So this is where we're going to start. If you have one of these monster balls, this is really good to get into there as well. So your choice, small ball or big ball, your choice. And as we do this, we're going to lay on our front. Ball's going to go under the corner of that chest. And then from here, the hand can go behind the back. And again, it's going to do small circle movements, up and down movements. We're going to really lean onto that ball. We can use our other hand to add more pressure for us to lean into. You can move the arm around into a different position. See if it feels painful in any position, if it's overhead, whether it's off to the side, whether it's down by our side. I'm just going to spend 2 minutes each side working into that corner of the chest to start it off. So your choice, small balls, big balls, 2 minutes, going on the clock, starting now. Okay, so all under the corner part of the chest. I like to put the hand behind the back to start us off. Just let that ball roll up and down into the corner. You can move the arm out to the side, see if that changes on how it feels. But remember with this, we're focusing more on the chest, not on the shoulder. You can bring your arm out to the side. If this is painful, again, you don't need to do any movement. You can just try and relax on the ball, taking big, deep breaths. So for those that are newer to this is more soft tissue work rather than stretching. It's very rare that we do any stretching movements. And if we do, it's not like our usual regular stretching. But majority of the time when we're using these balls, it's soft tissue work, trying to work out any knots that we may have, try and loosen off any fascia that covers the muscles, and just trying to get those muscles lengthened back to where they should be. Okay, start moving that arm up and down. We've got about 10 seconds, we're going to switch sides. Use that opposite hand to put more pressure. 3, 2, 1. Onto the other side. Again, up into the corner of the chest. Lay on that ball. Start moving that arm around. Use this hand to push yourself or lever yourself into the ball. Again, you can place that hand behind the back. Move that arm up and down. Again, whenever we do different sides, you might find that one side is always tighter than the other. This side is a lot tighter for me. Little movements from side to side, little movements up and down, little circles. Find a technique that works for you. Use a hand on the other side just to lever yourself into that ball. You can try turning the hand up and down. So you can face it toward the ground, face it up towards the ceiling, see if that changes how it feels. So what we're searching for is any areas that feel tight or a tiny bit painful for us. 15 seconds. 2, 1, and relax. So last couple of mobilizations. For the ladies, I want you to go onto the shoulder. So if you just think here, we went up into the corner of the chest. Now we're going just above that, just onto the front of the shoulder where the deltoid is. For the gentlemen, we're going to come a little lower. So we did the pec minor at the top. We're going to come more onto the pec major down at the bottom here. Ladies, feel free to try this as well. I don't know whether this may be a little bit painful for you guys though, but your choice. Front of the shoulder here, ideally for the ladies. For the gentlemen, we're coming lower onto the pec. So ladies are going here, gentlemen will come in here. So back on your front. 2 minutes on the clock. So again, ball in position, either the shoulder or on the pec. So very similar to before, you can use your hands to lever you onto the ball. We can move that hand around in different positions. You can turn the hand up, you can turn the hand down, you can put the hand behind the back. Putting the hand behind the back always works well for me. Little circle movements, little side to side movements. If you're working on the front of the shoulder, you might find a couple of little knots clicking over there. Front of the shoulders can get very tight because all this movement that we do in that front position. So we've got about 45 seconds left and we switch. And that'll be our last mobilization for today, and then we'll go back to our retest and see if any of this rolling about has made any change. So again, try moving your hand out to the side. I turn the hand up, try turn the hand down. Take it to the side, take it overhead. You can move it around in a circle if you like. This is called flossing. Technique is called flossing. 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch other side. So again, either onto the front of the shoulder or onto the main part of the chest. So again, take the hand behind the back, have a little roll, take it out to the side, turn the palm up, turn the palm down, move that arm around in a circle. Use the opposite hand to add pressure onto that side. A big semicircle with the hands is always good as well. Got 1 more minute. So keep adding more pressure, keep looking for anywhere that might be tight or have knots. "30 seconds. So again, last 15, and then we'll go into our retest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so next we retest. So we can either go back against the wall or we can go against the floor. But again, lying flat, make sure the rib cage or the lower back is flat, rib cage pulled down, take the hands overhead. And now let's see if that feels any looser. So now my hands touch the floor this time. So you might feel a little bit of looseness in the front of your shoulders. Try and keep your head on the floor as well when you reach back. That's it. Keep that rib cage pulled down. You might feel looseness in the shoulders. You might feel looseness in the upper back. Again, you can try this against the wall. If you do it against the wall in the beginning part, reach up, arms roughly shoulder width. Try and keep the hands as straight as possible. Now, hopefully, that should feel a little looser overhead. Okay, and then you can bring it back in. Okay, hands up if anyone felt a bit looser then. Okay, good, good. Not just me. Great. I mean, I'm tight everywhere. I'm like the tightest mobility coach there is. So, next week, I'm thinking about trying to work the ankles. We haven't worked the ankles in a while, so we may work the calves. We haven't done the foot either for a long time, and I love mobilizing the foot. So we might try and mobilize underneath the foot as well, because that can all be connected up into the ankle and gives a little bit more range of movement. Unless anybody else doesn't want to do that. Speak up now.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Perfect. Thank you, Katie. So ankles it is. Calves underneath the foot. You're going to need your balls. Bring a roller as well if you have a roller at home. And we'll focus on loosening those feet up next week. Cool. Questions?
Thanks very much. That was great.
Good. Thank you, Tim. Awesome, guys. Let's see if we can get a crew like this as well next week. I love this. Look how many people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Record. Awesome.
It's because you put it on Facebook. I completely forgot about your mobility classes, so it was good.
Oh, Tim, how could you? I'm glad you're back.
Okay, I'll see you
guys.
soon.
Well,
Cheers.
If I don't see you next week, I'll see you at the box.
Yeah, see you then.
Awesome,
See
guys.
you all. Bye.
Don't avoid me, Tim.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.